I love music. Sweet, sweet music. Long as it's swinging, all the joy that it's bringing. Music is the healing force of the world. It is understood by every man, woman, boy, and girl. Actually, these aren't my words, but from the lyricists Gamble and Huff. But let me repeat one of those last lines one more time, and really, just let that soak in. Music is the healing force of the world. Now, to heal means to alleviate pain from, or to make something healthy again. So what is this original pain that we're trying to relieve? What is so detrimentally impacting the world? Well, that would be the negative minds of society. The stacks of negativity that are constantly trying to trample us over. And I'm absolutely positive that each and every one of us here today have either felt, feel, or will feel restricted by those surrounding us. And so this healing force, this healing power of music helps humanity defy these burdens. It helps us liberate ourselves, but to be completely free, we have to be willing to fight back. And I know that's something that many of us are afraid to do. In fact, personally, I was. But my dad put things into perspective for me, and it was extremely impactful. So imagine this. Imagine you were trying to plant something. Let's say a rose. And this rose represents you and who you are as a person. Now the first two things we'll need in order to grow this rose is the seed of the rose as well as soil. And this soil represents the negativity that we have in our life. But in this growing process, this soil is needed, right? Because it kind of covers the seed. It ensures that the seed is not displaced by the wind or is blown over by other natural disasters. Similarly, in our life, we need this negativity because it teaches us how to deal with it. It teaches us how to cope with it. So along with the soil, the seed needs nutrients from water and the sun. And for us, that would be the experiences that we go through that help shape us as a person and define us. And so this seed, as it's underground, how do we ensure that it's becoming a rose? How do we see the process that the seed is kind of growing in a healthy manner? Well, that's the moment that it liberates itself, that the seed comes up from under the soil and is able to evolve into a rose. Now, similarly, we need to liberate ourselves from anything and everything that is stunting our growth. We have to be able to do what is most beneficial for us, no matter what the cost is. Now, I stand today in front of you as a student seeking this same liberation. Liberation from the social and academic expectations that are faced on a daily basis. The expectation to, as you all are very familiar with, needing to receive a 4.5 GPA and have a busy social life, be invited to the high school parties and have numerous friends. And a way that I like to liberate myself, even for an hour or two a day, is through music. I have been classically trained in the Hindustani style of music for 10 years and the Western style of music for 5 years, and can confirm that the reason I'm a student able to take part in so many extracurricular activities is because of music. And so you might be thinking, what? This doesn't make sense. I mean, you're involved in so many activities and clubs. Isn't music kind of just an extra burden for you? But in reality, it's a refresher for me. It's like the water that the rose needs in order to evolve. And so it kind of surprises me when I come across people who think music is trivial in comparison to more academic and important pursuits. I mean, music is oftentimes overlooked, it's undermined, it's viewed simply as a hobby, and has failed to have a prominent part in our curriculum today. But music is not simply a hobby, it's a way of life. Now, I'm not saying to drop out of school and become the next Beyonce, but to let music have a prominent part in your life, to feel that grand impact that it has to offer. Because music is one of the very few activities that unifies the body, mind, and soul into one. And so whenever I rehearse, this feeling of serenity fills me up, and it happens each and every time I rehearse. In fact, because of practicing, I have been fascinated with this concept of not improving the way that I look or the way that I behave, but how I feel. So just imagine if music had such a great impact on me, one single person, what it can have on the youth of America as a whole. If each and every person had that outlet, that creative outlet, and are able to liberate themselves from the expectations faced. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the school district that I come from, which is IPSD 204, and it is famed for its music program. I mean, I feel so thankful and privileged to attend such a school. But in reality, I did nothing to be a part of it. There are numerous students, much more deserving than I, who don't even have the access to a music program in their school. And what saddens me even more is that these students are no more than 40 miles away. They're literally a train ride away, yet they are fighting on a daily basis for their right to an education. $250 million. That is the amount of money that the legislation took from their grant for the CPS system. $250 million! Can you imagine how detrimentally that impacts the lives of numerous students? And so taking these financial shortcomings into consideration, I created AML Chicago, my own nonprofit organization. So far, we've implemented a choir program in the Excel Academy of Inglewood. And it is inspiring to see how excited the students get when they're learning their favorite song or they're learning about basic music theory. Because for many of these students, music is the only way that they can emotionally and mentally cope with these adversities they face on a daily basis. Students from different cultural backgrounds, from different genders, from different ages, they can all unify through music. What is even more amazing, however, is music's ability to heal. That's right, by having patients hum along to a song or sing or draw, people with memory loss and mental conditions have actually been cured through music therapy. Just imagine that. I mean, taking our day and age taken into consideration and all the technological advances that are happening, people are still relying on this form. I mean, it's truly fascinating, and what is even more fascinating is how it's healed patients from a wide spectrum of conditions, ranging from pain management to autism spectrum and Alzheimer's disease. So really, let that soak in. The central organ of our human nervous system, it dominates our movements, our emotions, our body language. It's able to be cured by something as simple as the basic tune of a song. And so as you can see, music in general depicts a message that words simply cannot. And I actually have a quick story about that. It was last summer, and me and my parents were driving home from dinner. And it was a little late into the afternoon, and of course, I had the radio on. And so I had the radio on, I was listening to a song, but then I kind of got sick of the, mainstream pop music. And so I was playing around with the channels, trying to find another song, and finally I came across this amazing song. I was jamming out to this song, really letting myself enjoy it, and then I realized that it ended 10 to 15 seconds later, and I wasn't able to catch the title of the song. And I know this has happened to many of you in the audience. And so I went nuts trying to find the title of the song. It even got to the point where I posted a video of me singing that catchy tune of the song, because I didn't remember the words. So I just knew this basic tune of the song, and I recorded myself singing it, and I put it on my Instagram story. And I was like, hi guys, do you guys know what this song is? Have any of you ever heard of it? And finally, one person did comment and say the title of the song. But the funny part of it all, it wasn't even in English. I had not a clue what a single word of the song meant. But it just shows how the beat, the dynamic changes, the key changes. This is something that our body feeds on. because music has this restorative spirit. It allows the soft-spoken to have a voice. It helps the harmed be healed. It helps the helpless be hopeful. And so I hope with this information today, you all in your communities can emphasize this importance of music education within your communities. Now, it is truly fascinating as I explain this and everything that music can provide to us. And I hope that a better world and a more balanced society can be created as we teach the generations to come about the importance of music, or as I like to call it, the universal language, our universal language. Thank you.